takeoff was made without the use of feet. And what game was this, which was played even before Brazil or football existed?
Nós já costume de nós jogar com a cabeça e é a alegria nossa dentro da nossa aldeia.
Known as headball, Shikonahachi celebrates the encounter of the physical and the spiritual body.
Esse Shikonahachi, ela é antiga. No nosso mito, os Palisi já saíram jogando. Já saíram com ela jogando.
The land shook when the world was inhabited only by Enore and his 2 sons. They lived confined inside a rock. While they were searching for water, the young men heard a loud noise at the riverbank. The first one to leave was the leader Vazari, who today is still seen as the principal divine figure of Palisi mythology.
O Vazari começou a ensinar as pessoas para jogar esse bola. De geração em geração nós repassa isso.
The natives mastered the ball long before the white man came to the Americas. The Palisis walk towards the sun and the eternal beginning. To keep their tradition, they must bleed the savanna mangaba tree, searching for its sap, which provides them with the sacred sphere. The furrows around the trunk give rise to a tribal drawing and the raw material to manufacture the ball.
De manhã, às 5h30 até 7h, ela dá mais leite devido ao tempo, né? O tempo fresco. A fruta dela também, quando madura, né? A gente pega ela para comer.
The Indian Wasia works on an ancient assembly line. Feet on the ground and hands-on, he cultivates a tradition that is in his people's mind. The clay pot was replaced by aluminium, but the kabasa is still an essential utensil to spread the latex and make the pancake batter thicker, filled with tradition and good spirits.
E depois dobra ela e vai colando ela com o próprio leite e vai assoprar. Tem que passar o leite na tábua para secar uma, 2, 3 camadas e depois vai enrolando.
In the ball's universal geometry, little by little, the circle increases its volume until it becomes a 3D object with an ancestral design. Sustainable, 100% organic, the Shikonahachi ball is 12 to 14 centimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 300 grams. The field, where 3 to 5 players can play on each side, varies in size according to the available area.
O Shikonahachi é um esporte, né, que surgiu desde o surgimento dos Palisis para desafiar seus adversários, né? Vai desafiando outras aldeias. Nesse processo eles vão colocar vários objetos em volta, como arco e flecha, pilão, cestaria. A pessoa que está lá cuidando, ele vai pegando. Quem leva mais esse objeto vai ser campeão. Qualquer bola você não deixa passar. é seu mesmo. Você não pode errar aquela bola. Quem for melhor, vai levando. O adversário chega com aquele objeto tão bonito, porque o adversário também traz um monte de coisa para evitar de perder, para ter continuação, né?
Aí passa os 4, 5 dias, aí ele volta para descontar o que ele já perdeu. Mas a mesma coisa ele vai perder de novo.
The closer they get to the ground, the more contact they have with their roots. The Indians' activities are playing ball and living in harmony with nature. Organizer of the Indigenous Games, Carlos Terena advocates that the most authentic things in Brazil begin with the Indians.
Nós temos aqui mais de 48 povos e eu pedi para que todas as lideranças, os caciques, trouxessem os jovens. Porque é nele que nós vamos segurar para manter a nossa cultura. A gente dá graças aos nossos ancestrais por ele ter resistido a todas as intromissões do homem branco naquela época. Se não houvesse essa resistência, a gente não tinha o que nós tínhamos hoje, tinha acabado.
Através desses jogos, tem índios que vêm resgatando as suas culturas tradicionais, né, esportes. Então vai estar vindo muitos outros indígenas, né, que são de fora do Brasil.
The Indigenous Games are a fashion show of different ethnic groups and a lot of style. Across the Indigenous Games runway, everyone shows their pride and best costumes in a festival of diversity.
O jogo é para você apresentar sua cultura, a sua convivência dentro da aldeia, o que você faz, qual o tipo de esporte que você pratica. Hoje o Palisi ele é visto como um futebolístico da cabeça. São os primeiros grupos que apresentou essa história de futebol. Aquelas pessoas que é da cidade ou própria outra etnia que nunca viu aquilo, ele vai vendo, vai impressionando. Nossa, aquilo dali é muito bom. É uma celebração de uma etnia dentro dos jogos indígenas.
The Palisis show their macaw feather headdress and the devotion to the birds that guide their way. Every day in the village, they must struggle to keep their indigenous culture alive. As the city and the commodities of urban life devastate the original environment, being an Indian has become more and more a matter of resistance.
Você tem que jogar dia a dia.
Praticar, cabecear como bola é uma coisa que vai fortalecendo a pessoa como espiritualmente, né? O jogo de Shikonahachi é uma diversão do povo Palisi.
Before Brazil and its dominance in football existed, the original myth was already there.
A beleza do jogo é aquela pessoa saber cabecear bonito. Porque que quando tá jogando, o pessoal anima. Aquela bolada que volta, aquela boniteza.
Ela é uma história do povo Palisi.
É o real da início da bola. Então é isso que a gente não repassa para quem está nascendo hoje criando, né?
Então esse é os Palisi que faz essa bola. Então você é o dono dessa bola.
From head to toe, every part of the world has a way of relating to the ball with the intimacy of old friends. But there is an island where every form of love is worth it. The legitimate child of the Irish culture, Gaelic football, was born from a pig's bladder.
Well, the ancient word in the Irish language for football in the south of the country would be caid, which is spelled C-A-I-D, which is the Irish word or the Old Irish word for a pig's bladder. If someone is a king or a prince of the pig's bladder, that would be to suggest that they're experts at football.
It's clearly not volleyball, but the ball shared between rugby and football follows in the steps of handball. Comparing it with basketball could be a dangerous move, even though a goal in Gaelic football is worth the same as a three-point shot in basketball.
Before the establishment of Gaelic football as a codified sport, there would have been folk football, football played in the countryside by ordinary people with different rules in different places, and they would have used whatever would come to hand as a football. Very often they would use pig's bladder or a cow's bladder or objects like that to use as a football.
The original bladder was used for the laced ball. You used to be able to take out the bladder if the ball burst and put in a new bladder. And it was made from full chrome leather. But full chrome leather took on water. And in our climate in Ireland, it rains quite a bit. So this ball would have got heavier during the course of the game, which would have affected the scoring of the play. But the new ball, this ball here, the rubberized materials with canvas back cannot take on the weight, so the weight will remain the same in all playing conditions. O'Neill's was established in 1918. So since then, O'Neill's footballs are used in all Gaelic games.
Made with 18 panels, the ball's circumference is between 69 and 70 centimeters, and it weighs 450 grams. It looks like a volleyball and weighs almost the same as a football.
This is the ball that will be used in the All-Ireland final on Sunday between Dublin and Mayo.
As in a World Cup final, Dublin is charged with electricity on the D-Day of the All-Ireland Championship. All for four and four for all. The rhythm of Gaelic football is marked by 4 steps with the ball in hand maximum and then having to pass. To continue running with the ball in hand, the player has to bounce it on the grass or do a soloing, and it starts all over again. A Gaelic football player has much more space but less time than a football player to reach the very similar objectives. The game in its Irish version is played in 2 30-minute halves by teams of 15 players, on a pitch up to 145 metres long and 90 metres wide. In Ireland, hitting the net is not the only way to score. The shot that goes over the crossbar that everyone regrets in football is a cause for celebration in Gaelic football. Crossing the top of the H-shaped crossbars is worth 1 point. Hitting the net is 3 times better. Even the universal emotion of a goal is framed by different weights and measures. In Gaelic football, the goalposts extend 6.5 metres and are 2.5 metres high, unlike the 7.32 by 2.42 metres of football around the world.
The first recorded game of Gaelic football took place in 1750 in Louth, and what happened was 2 communities played across the valley. The ball started off in the middle, and the idea was to get the ball to one side or the other. And the game lasted 4 days. A very tough encounter. 1 person died as a result of his injuries, but it showed how seriously people took the game.
Collisions have not the slightest subtlety. but they are allowed as long as their intention is getting the ball. Sport is a landmark in the process of civilization because it creates rules for men to gauge their strengths without eliminating their rivals. One of the people responsible for the creation of the Gaelic Athletic Association is Cardinal Thomas Croke. The stadium was named after him, and it is now currently regarded as a cathedral.
For me personally, when Iran Naveen, our national anthem, the Soldiers' Song, is played here in Croke Park on All-Ireland final day, and the 30 players are facing our national flag, the hairs on the back of my neck will stand up. And that for me is the quintessential Irish moment. There's a special correlation between the players on the field who give their all for 70 plus minutes and the people in the stand, because those players the following day will be back driving the bus or delivering your post or be serving you meat in the butchers.
Jack O'Shea, the Pele of Irish football, is the greatest role model of the dual identity of an amateur idol. No one reached a higher ranking than he did in the battle for the ball. He had a toolbox full of great moves, which he also still uses in his professional life as a pump.
No matter where I would go in the country, I would be recognised, I suppose, because I played for 10, 12 years at the top and that, and you know, you're on television quite a lot, so people recognise you. But being an amateur sports person, you know, it's only part of your life, it's not your whole life. Like, you still have to do your job and do your work and that, you know, and you know, I suppose being amateur as well, you're no different to anybody else.
Guts, love, and passion. The players' expressions make it obvious that Gaelic football is a sport of rare endurance. Historically, the amateur spirit of Gaelic football comes with love and pain. There is a sea of resentment that separates Ireland from British influence. On Bloody Sunday in 1920, Croke Park was attacked on a game day by British forces. 14 people were killed and 65 were injured. 2 years later, Ireland would become a free country.
That left a very indelible mark on the GAA and on Irish society as a whole. And a lot of people would view the GAA as being synonymous with nationalist Ireland, and I suppose our commitment to the Irish language and to Irish culture would feed into that as well.
We gross over 53 million a year, but we put 86% of that back into our communities to prepare pitches, to build stadia, to maintain stadia, and maintain ordinary playing facilities for our children. And we spend over 20 million on coaches to train our youngest players in how to play our games. So the money is recycled. It's an expression of our Irish identity.
To counter British influence, defending Gaelic football became a matter of honour. Just like Guinness and Joyce's literature, Gaelic football is one of the flags of Irish independence.
There is a rivalry with Ireland and England, yeah, and I think that you know, the Irish are always trying to get one up in England, whether it's rugby or soccer or even show jumping, whatever it may be. I think that's pride, the Irish pride. We feel we're the best.
In the game in which the Irish are the owners of the ball, a little pat doesn't hurt.
Like, when you think about it, there's only 30 people can walk behind the band before the match. So to be one of those 30 people and to achieve the goal to get there, they're unique. There are 30 people in Ireland.
With the cup in hand and saluting the victorious county, the Irish celebrate the contentious spirit that created Gaelic football. Football, beer, and complaining about referees show that Gaelic football is not as isolated from the rest of the world as Irish nationalism supposes. The ball is a passion and an obsession. In the midst of beauty and chaos, Thailand makes the ball world turn upside down and go back to the same place. A type of foot volley mixed with martial arts, Sepak Takraw cultivates the perfect way of lifting the body and spirit. Between Bangkok's frantic traffic and ancient Asia's millenary rhythm, there's an entanglement of feelings that joins both worlds. Worshipped by 85% of the population, Buddhism is also a guardian of good sportsmanship. The ball is found in Buddha's waist, head, and teachings. Originally made of the fiber of a tropical palm tree, rattan, the Sepak Takraw ball today is made of synthetic fibers. In the last 3 decades, industrialization has covered the area with new colors, but still preserves the content of an ancestral tradition. Manually or machine-made, the ball is formed out of 12 open spaces, from 20 intersections of up to 45 centimeters in diameter, and weighs 180 grams. The ball only obeys those as light as itself.
ครับสำหรับตอนกระโดดเตะนะครับคือ1คือขึ้นอยู่กับการฝึกซ้อมมาตั้งแต่เด็กนะครับคือเพราะว่าผมจะได้ฝึกซ้อมมาตั้งแต่อาจารย์ฝึกสอนมาตั้งแต่เด็กครับคือต้องฝึกห้อยลูกตะกร้อเตะอะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับคือมีเป้าเตะคือห้อยลูกไว้ก็ค่อยๆกระโดดเตะให้สูงขึ้นทำนองนี้ครับแล้วทีนี้พอเตะจนชำนาญแล้วก็ได้ให้เพื่อนชงมาเตะให้ครับก็
Pornchak spent 45 days training hard to go through a qualifying sieve the size of Thailand. As certain as the monsoons, the tropical heavy rains that flood the country from July to October, is the engagement of the 75 provinces in the qualifiers for the Royal Thai tournament in September. The game is played between teams of 3 players, in matches of up to 5 sets of 15 points each, and in a court 13.4 meters long and 6 meters wide. The net is 1.55 meters tall, almost 1 meter shorter than on a male volleyball court. The hand is used only to pass the ball to the server. Obedience is noted on court. During the service, the 2 net players can't leave the quarter circle drawn between the court center line and sideline. The server plays in the whole circle in the center of the court without leaving it. As the ball crosses the net, the players can leave their marks. Despite the similarities with volleyball, where a team is allowed up to 3 consecutive touches, a Sepak Takraw player can touch the ball more than once.
ก็กีฬาตะกร้อเนี่ยมันก็โตมากับวัฒนธรรมของบ้านเราก็เหมือนจะเรียกว่าเกือบจะเป็นอยู่ในสายเลือดของคนไทยนะครับคู่มากับมวยไทยนะเพราะนั้นมาตั้งแต่โบราณอันนี้ก็เป็นส่วนหนึ่งที่ว่าส่วนใหญ่แล้วเด็กที่โตมาในบ้านเราเนี่ยโดยเฉพาะในชนบทเนี่ยก็จะ
A national sport, Thai boxing, or Muay Thai, is known as the art of 8 limbs. In addition to feet and hands, elbows and knees provide twice as much power and number of moves.
มวยไทยนี่เป็นความเตรียมตัวคือว่าการคล่องตัวกับการเคลื่อนไหวมันจะเป็นเหมือนทำให้เรารู้ ตะกร้อรู้มวยครับการคล่องตัวเหมือนกันของลูกเตะลูกถีบอะไรคล้ายๆกันครับ
Sport mimics Thai life in its ability to take blows. The discipline and the gift to fight are in the soul of the people that never let their country be colonized.
ก็เกี่ยวกับในหลวงของเรานะครับซึ่งสังเกตว่าเราจะไปไหนก็จะเห็นพบกับรูปของท่านนะครับซึ่งในเรื่องของความรู้สึกจิตใจประชาชนชาวไทยผมคิดว่าทุกคนเนี่ยคงจะรักท่านมากๆนะครับแล้วก็เห็นภาพท่านทุกคนคงมีกำลังใจในการทำงานเพราะว่าไม่ว่าทุกคนจะมีงานหนักหนาสาหัสแค่ไหนหรือว่ามีชีวิตที่เราก็ยิ่งมีกำลังใจไปใหญ่นะครับเพราะว่าถือว่าท่านติดตามกีฬาแล้วก็คิดว่านักกีฬาทุกคนก็คงคิดเหมือนกันนะครับมีท่านเป็นกำลังใจแล้วก็ทำให้เราเนี่ยมีพลังในการฝึกซ้อมแล้วก็ไปสู่ชัยชนะได้อย่างไม่ยากเย็นครับ
Older than the Thai monarchy is the relationship of the ball with nobility. Before the courts and before the game became popular, the ball was controlled inside the palaces of the Malaysian Sultan. It is said that a court member kept the ball in the air while someone else ate their meal and afterwards gave the ball to this other person. Surrounded by crystals and items of rare beauty, a royal ability was necessary to avoid breaking them all. In a society of reserved gestures, the Sepak Takraw court is like a carnival, where breaking the rules is allowed. Making fun doesn't mean mocking their rivals as they fall. It is part of a purification process. Instead of guilt, the laws of action and reaction are also valid for Sepak Takraw. In court, anything that goes comes back.
ประเพณีเราต้องอนุรักษ์ไว้ประเพณีไทยคือการกีฬาตะกร้อมันเป็นเอกลักษณ์ของไทยเราต้องอนุรักษ์ไว้ถึงเราแก่มาเราต้องสอนลูกสอนหลานรุ่นหลังๆให้เล่นกีฬาประเภทนี้ไว้ตลอดไป
Life of the Thai people, vigor and tenderness are two sides of the same coin. Ability and strength combined can be observed in Sepak Takraw game. Thai, the word that means freedom, touches all senses when served with pepper, ginger and coconut milk. Both Thai language and cuisine leave at the tip of the tongue the defining contrasts of a country that cherishes freedom. Between subtleness and violence, spicy and sweet, Sepak Takraw is a field day for those who want to try a typical Thai flavor. In the rhythm of Europe's largest economy, life in southern Germany is a balance between tradition and technological change. On the feet of a people who try for excellence in all forms, the ball is a 3D version of accuracy on wheels. In a sport in which the goal is scored with a bike, pedaling is a compulsory move. Instead of the foot, it's the wheel that finds the ball to create the name and excitement of rattan. Rad means wheel. Cycleball.
Ich finde also, man braucht sehr viel Geduld auf jeden Fall und Durchhaltungsvermögen. weil es ist anders wie bei vielen anderen Sportarten, zum Beispiel ein Fußballer. Mit dem Fuß gegen Ball treten kann man von Anfang an. Beim Radball braucht man, gerade wenn man anfängt, ganz, ganz lange, um überhaupt einen Fortschritt zu haben.
Appreciated by the ease with which it slides down the court, this ball made in Germany is a mystery. The ball's main manufacturers didn't allow the cameras to film the process. But in Winterthur, Switzerland, Heinz Weber opens his doors and reveals the mystery.
Das weiße Material ist Polyesteren-Material. Das wird zum Schweißen, damit es nicht ausfranst, kann man nicht Stoff verwenden. Der Unterschied vom Rehhaar zum Pferdehaar: das Rehhaar lässt sich formen, das Pferdehaar lässt sich nicht formen.
The reindeer is the only type of deer that can be domesticated. Maybe that's why the ball filled with reindeer fur is more obedient to the player's orders.
Sondern mit Rehhaaren springt er nicht. Wir haben schon Versuche gemacht mit anderen Bällen, mit Handball, und der ist zu fest gesprungen. Deshalb ist er nicht geeignet für das Radball. Der Ball darf nicht springen. Der muss rollen.
The cycleball is stitched in 8 sections and has 18 centimeters in diameter. Although it is the size of an indoor football, the cycleball bounces less because it has twice its weight, reaching up to 600 grams. 14 meters long and 11 meters wide, the cycleball court is half the size of the penalty area of a football field. The goal is 2 meters wide and 2 meters tall and is smaller than the indoor soccer goal. A sport in which time and space are reduced, the games are played in 2 7-minute halves. The teams are composed of pairs that are divided by the court's halves. The 2 players of one team cannot play forward at the same time. The ball can only be touched by the bike's wheel, except in a goal kick, when the defender can use his hands. It all began with an American star bike, that elegant and disproportionate object, which today is only found in museums or in silent movie archives.
Erstmals in der Geschichte erwähnt wurde Radball 1894, und zwar von einem Mr. Kaufmann in Amerika. Der hatte das vorgeführt, und zwar kommt er vom Kunstradfahren, von Artistic Cycling, und der hatte dann das versucht, mit einem Ball zu spielen. Man sagt heute, ihm wäre ein kleiner Hund über den Weg gelaufen und er hätte dann mit dem Fahrrad den Hund weggeschlagen, und so wäre das entstanden. So steht es also in der Geschichte heute.
Over time, the bike's dimensions were adjusted until it reached perfect balance. With 2 wheels of the same size and the chain wheel fixed to the back wheel, you can move forward and back and stay still, while the sport moves around all over the world.
Entwicklung hat sich dann so fortgesetzt, dass in den 20er Jahren wurde dann Radball in Europa in mehreren Ländern gespielt, also Hauptsache in Deutschland, in der Schweiz, in Österreich, auch schon in der Tschechei.
In the World Cup, cycleball increases in magnitude. Chemnitz, with 245,000 people, is the main stage where the cycleball machine and the ball made of reindeer hair meet. A three-time world champion from Switzerland, Peter Jiricek belongs to the third generation of a family entirely dedicated to the evolution of cycling. His father, also known as Peter Jiricek, is his current coach and partner. They own a Cycleball bicycle factory, and they know, like few, the secrets of the equipment that has a name of its own, Cycleball machine.
Das ist der teuerste überhaupt, was es gibt, und der kostet ca. 3.500 Franken. Der Fahrrad ist 3 Kilo leichter. Was speziell ist an dem Fahrrad ist, dass er Starrlauf hat. Wir können vorwärts und rückwärts fahren. Unser Fahrrad ist speziell, das Rahmen ist aus dem Aluminium, Felgen sind Carbon, Sattelstütze sind Carbon. Einziger Stahl hat an dem Fahrrad sind Lenker. Wir haben nicht früher Radball spielen, weil der Rad war zu schwer auch für einen Jungen. Heutzutage ist der vielleicht Hälfte leichter und durch den können die Jungen auch früher anfangen Radball spielen und wegen dem hat der Sport auch riesige Entwicklung gemacht.
Although it looks like an extreme sport, cycleball requires gentle skills developed over years. Just like artistic gymnastics, it's best to begin at an early age. You need at least 2 years of practice until you're finally ready to control the ball.
Wichtig ist, dass man am Anfang relativ jung anfängt mit der Sportart, keine Angst hat, keine Angst zum Hinfliegen. Wenn man nachher vielleicht im Training die Kleine sieht, da sieht man schon die Unterschiede, wer ein bisschen ängstlich auf dem Rad ist und wer so Draufgänger ist. Ich denke mal, das Draufgängerische ist bei unserem Sport am Anfang.
Since the age of 7, Patrick Schnetzer from Austria has been practicing cycleball to play in the front line. At the age of 17, he became the youngest world champion ever, playing with a broken finger.
Dass ich der jüngste Weltmeister bin, das ist natürlich eine Ehre. Also ich liebe Radball, weil es ist einfach was anderes als Fußball. Nicht jeder spielt Radball. Man kommt überall in der Welt herum. Wir haben Turniere in Tschechien, Deutschland, wir waren auch in Japan, also wirklich überall. Und es ist wirklich alles eine große Familie, man kennt jeden und ja, es macht einfach Spaß.
Outside the court, the sport catches on quickly for those who are watching it for the first time. Between winners and losers, the champion is the sport itself, where technology and amateurism meet with old friends and new possibilities. After the medal ceremony, it's just about singing, sweating and drinking beer. In the ball's world, different names can mean the same thing. In Burmese, Chinlone means universal encounter of the foot and ball. Over time, it simply became synonymous of ball. In the ball and Buddha, the Myanmar people share their most precious asset. In the biggest and poorest country in Southeast Asia, humanity's oppression is defeated by the freedom of spirit.
Why is the one that do the last or the Gaelic Games or that do what it if you in it about the Agazago, Midao, Chigan, you are lower Agaza Pit, about your town at Yao Say Tiao Nale, Tiao the Vodia Nale.
In a country where 90% of the population is Buddhist, the ball is like gold for those practicing the detachment sport. The ball is made of fibres from the rattan palm tree, which woven from 12 strips produce 12 open spaces with 20 intersections. The ball is 48 to 50 centimeters in diameter and weighs approximately 150 grams. Considered the best Chinlone player of all times, Mao Mao explores like few the freedom inside the circle where this sport is played. At his Chinlone school, he teaches the new generations that they must use their feet and their head to keep the ball and their spirits high. Preserved in the dimensions of eternity, the Chinlone tradition adjusts the clock's hands of haste with patience. The temple of faith and the temple of the For more than 70 years, the local people feed their body and soul in a Chinlone festival to celebrate the rice harvest in Mandalay. Masters in the art of not dropping the ball, the Chinlone players carry on their back the same honors that cover the Buddhist temples in gold. The best players receive as a prize money bills that the fans spontaneously stick to their back. The more beautiful the plays, the higher the spirits. Across 55 days, over 1,600 teams of 6 players display their skills to avoid the ball hitting the ground with movements that recall ancient dances. In search of the origins of football, FIFA recognized that its oldest ancestor, Kuju, emerged in China more than 2000 BC. Kuju was a more elevated way of controlling the ball and man's instincts.
ကျွန်တော်မြန်မာရိုးရာကျင်းလုံးကတော့ရှေးနှစ်ပေါင်း1500လောက်ကနေစပြီးတော့အပြော်တန်းခက်ကစားလာကြရနေပြီးတော့ငင်းများလက်ထက်မှာလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့မင်းပွဲစုပွဲများမှာလည်းဒီချင်းလုံးအာဂါသနီးဟာငင်းမြောက်ဖြော်ရခဲ့ရတယ်အာဂါသနဲ့ယဉ်ကျေးမှုနဲ့ဆန်အာဂါလက်ဆန်
In a uniform, circular movement of the Chinlone, the players are connected to life's essential energy. Coming and going between the court centre and its edges, the ball gravitates like electrons around the nucleus of an atom. Through a microscope lens or an eye-popping ball, the vibration of the whole universe begins inside a circle.
There are 2 concentric circles. One is the inner circle, another one is the outer circle. When we are competition, we must use like these 2 circles. When we are only entertaining and demonstration, we not necessary to use inner circle. Every school carrier must be stay in the inner circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 person is supporter, support to the school maker.
the first round of passes, the ball is touched with the top of the foot. In the second round, the inner part of the foot is used. In the third round, the ball is touched with the knee only. In the fourth round of passes, it is touched with the sole. And in the fifth round, it is touched with the heel. Finally, in the sixth round, it is touched with the outside of the foot.
So after they got the sixth row, the referee will be called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point.
Even if the referees have a grading scale for the maneuvers, the festival appreciates the show of skills more than their victory. The more elaborated the sequence of moves, the higher the recognition of the team.
Chinlone မြန်မာပြည်အတွက်တော့အားတစ်ခုပါပဲမြန်မာတွေရဲ့ရိုးရာစစ်စစ်လည်းဖြစ်တယ်မြန်မာတွေရဲ့အားထားဆုံးအားကစားနည်းပညာလည်းဖြစ်တယ်မြန်မာပိုင်တဲ့ရိုးရာအားကစားနည်းအစ်စ်ထဲမှာလည်းပဲ Chinlone ကစားနည်းဟာရိုးရာအစ်စ်ဆုံးအားကစားနည်းနဲ့ယဉ်ကျေးမှုအရှိဆုံးအားကစားနည်းဖြစ်တယ်လို့လူတွေရဲ့အားလုံးစိတ်နှလုံးသားတွေမှာလည်းပဲကြည်နူးစေတယ်ကျမ်းမာရေးရှုထောင့်ကကြည့်ရင်လည်းအင်မတန်ကောင်းတဲ့အားကစားနည်းဖြစ်တယ်လူမှုရေးရှုထောင့်ကကြည့်ရင်လည်းပဲလူမှုရေးအတိုင်းဝိုင်းတအားပေါ်များတယ်အဲကြတော့မြန်မာတွေအတွက်ကဒီ Chinlone အားကစားနည်းဟာအားထားစရာအကောင်းဆုံးကစားနည်းတစ်ခုဖြစ်တယ်
After they left communism and their original name behind, Myanmar was created in 1989 together with the hope of a new era. In the translation from Sanskrit, Buddha's name announces a new awakening. A standard bearer of the local culture, Susula shows the gentle face of a people who are beginning to open their eyes to the world. Susula travels around her neighbouring countries and is part of a caste on a British ship that crosses Myanmar rivers. No matter how long or dark the night, there's always going to be a new day. Although Buddhism accepts pain as a means of purification, it is time now to get rid of the karma of oppression. Through the sport hero's feet, Myanmar walks towards light and a new beginning. new frontiers and perspectives ahead, the habit of making circles around Chinlone remains. When a movement obeys a desire for freedom, looking within gives you self-knowledge, peace, and a sport of rare beauty. The Chinlone player is a priest that turns the game into a mission of faith.